Okay, today I'm going to show you how, the exact processes and the exact systems I applied to scale Shay from legit zero. He's doing a couple hundred per month, zero, just classify that as zero per month, to all the way to above 40K a month in exactly 6 months, okay? So in January we hit, let me just reduce this. In January we hit 40K cash collected. This is gross revenue from Meta alone. So technically we did around 45, 46K, not including organic marketing, SMS marketing, influencer marketing, and affiliate marketing, while maintaining a 2.38 ROAS, okay, in 6 months, okay? And call me on FaceTime the other day, having too much issues with packing, okay? This is the type of problems we want to have, okay? And I'm going to show you how. So before we get into the actual briefs of things here, I'm going to talk about the simplified structure so you understand the basic systems and sort of how we operate, okay? Number one was we identified the current traffic source, where the traffic source is coming from, how it's coming, all that type of stuff, right? Is it directly come from Instagram Boost? Is it coming from word of mouth? Are we selling to cold customers currently? Again, it was a situation where we actually did sell a couple $100s per month, right? So there needs to be some traffic source to begin with, okay? So we've identified that first, okay? Number two is build/refine current content engine, all right? You gotta understand, content is everything, and it's single-handedly gonna scale your brand to 0 to 10K a month content alone. If your brand separates itself from other brands with just content, then it is going to be a huge factor to your success. I can guarantee you that, okay? 100%, right? So we want to build and refine already the content engine Shay had before moving forward, okay? Number three is obviously set up sales acquisition channels, Meta, organic, influencer, all this, which we'll talk about in a minute, okay? Setting up sales acquisition channels, because quite frankly, a lot of the small branders don't have an acquisition channel. Right? This is why they're not scaling to 5K a month. Like, there are 16-year-old kids who know how to run basic ads and you get sales, right? If you're not getting sales, then it's a problem, right? Of course, profitably. Adjust and refine until we hit market KPI, okay? I'm talking directly to this acquisition channels. Again, we need to understand our KPIs. Before we even run the ads, before we even start posting, we need to look for, or we need to understand what we're actually looking for. Because we go endlessly and we don't know a thing about ads and we launch it, then we're just wasting our money and most importantly our time at that point, okay? So obviously understanding what we're actually looking for in terms of KPI itself, and of course adjusting and refining through our systems, right? And this is interesting because no one else did this, okay? We've actually horizontally scaled, right, creative volume plus vertically scaled ad budget. But also which we'll go into, we actually horizontally scaled the products as well, so the frequency doesn't get high, all right? For every ad fatigues, we didn't make it fatigue. That's why we're able to sell to a 3.3 ROAS, return of ad spend. Keep in mind, their break even, Shay's break even was 1.4 at the time, right? So we're well above 1, okay? While maintaining the same ROAS when we hit 10K, 20K, 30K, and maintained 40K, okay? Simple. This is legit the 5-step process we use to scale from 0 to 40, all right, in 6 months, okay? Let me go in depth. Okay, I'm gonna show you exact step-by-step systems and processes we've applied to sort of achieve this, okay? Okay, let's go through it. Number one is we actually re-establish the attention source. You gotta realize to scale a brand to 50K a month at that scale, it's not huge, okay? There are two main attention sources that we need to optimize before we bring in traffic, okay? Number one is Instagram optimization, obviously dialing in the feed presentation and dialing in the trust funnel acquisition, okay? This goes hand in hand ties between our website because at the end of the day, this is where people buy the actual product, right? Obviously, trust funnel applied on the actual website and purchase conversion optimized for the website as well, directly relating to the ads, okay? Make sure the website's actually optimized even before we start running ads, just because, again, we didn't have a big ad budget, okay? Probably less than $500 a month to spend, all right? So every dollar we spend, we want to make sure it's spent the most efficient way possible, okay? So we actually first, before we even look into running ads, we've actually just established the attention source, which goes in Instagram and website. Biggest thing is people say, I guess I said it as well, is people only buy on the website, but quite truly, people buy looking at your Instagram as well, right? Before they get into your website, right? People have already made the decision to buy your product, okay? Website does the selling, yes, because that's where people buy, but we want to get them to the buyer state to get them to buy. Does that make sense? Cool. This is why we apply trust funnels to get them to trust us, because in the e-com game, especially for small brands, trust, if you get them to buy state with media buying, ad creatives, offers, but if we don't get them to trust, there's no sale, okay? So that is number one, all right? And feed presentation goes hand in hand to trust, but also the brand aesthetic, okay? Who we are as a brand, right? Are we targeting the right target audience? All this type of stuff, we need to be optimized on Instagram, likewise with website, okay? Okay, this is quite frankly, even before we even look at what product the brand is selling, okay? Now we go into product analysis, which comes in two main parts, okay? I'm gonna keep it super simple. Competitor analysis and market fit analysis, okay? Those are the two ways we're gonna actually analyze a product. So let me explain. Develop/refine winning products. Find potential winning/hero product by analyzing current engagement and KPI analysis, okay? If you've never ran ads, we do this organically, right? Looking at our organic KPIs, right? Making sure even before you understand looking KPIs, we need to look and we need to understand what we're actually looking for. Okay? We found a potential winning product, right? Through our organic KPI analysis. The problem was it wasn't backed up by any real data, all right? We're selling to friends, we're selling through family, we're selling through people who've, warm audiences. We've actually never tested to a core audience because the thing is, we're scaling 40K a month. Our cost per acquisition is going to go up every single time we scale because ads, it's going to reach a bigger audience, and bigger the audience, the colder the audience, meaning people, we're going to reach people who have actually never heard about your brand, okay? So problem was there was no acquisition channel to actually test, but from organic KPIs, we did find one product that sort of stood out. And the reason we want to dial it in and refine one winning, I don't want to use it winning because again, the winning product is truly when we spend a lot of money on ads and we're like, okay, cool, this product works. I want to say, I guess a potential hero product is because again, think about it logically, right? So let's just say your brand has 20 products. We do not have the ad budget and distribute that 20 products each, right? That means we'll be spending $5 each. Nor is it wise to, okay? We need to use all our small marketing budget we can and individualize to one product to have the best chance of leveraging, okay? Okay, dial in creatives, especially for ads, okay? You know how I said at the start, creatives are going to be everything, okay? We need to dial it down, okay? Two ways to do that, creative backtesting system and creative vertical testing, okay? Let me explain. Creative vertical testing will actually come from when we're running ads, okay? This is why we need to understand our KPIs and to exactly know what to look for, like our click-through rate, our ROAS, our spread between our add to carts, website content views, and obviously purchase as well, all right? The creative backtesting system is something where we do before we run the ads, all right? Obviously from this, we do competitor market research, looking at our previous other brands through our brand analytics and looking to develop what actual creatives would work best in your specific niche. Because again, every brand sells to one specific audience. I guess every good brand sells to one specific audience and one specific niche, okay? So creative backtesting is what we test creatives before we actually develop them and refine, okay? And creative vertical testing is the stuff we actually do in the ads itself through the ad data. So simplest way to say it, these go hand in hand. Obviously, we need to look at these two data, okay? So this was some of the creators brands before, okay, and these are after, okay? We've completely transformed them, okay, in multiple ways. Influencers, better photography, better angles, and exactly highlighting our USP and our UVP, so unique selling point of the product and unique value proposition product to actually be shown in the creative itself. Okay, so we've absolutely transformed the brand's creatives, okay, through different models, again, like influencers, actually finding the right models and right influencers where we can leverage. Again, we didn't have a big marketing budget, okay, they've done this stuff for free, okay, we just need to leverage it. So after we've actually dialed in our existing content, so the content we have, the products we have, we need to build a content engine even before we start running ads, okay? This is very important, okay? Content engine, obviously for bigger brands, include having different models, affiliate marketing, studio shoots, stuff like that. But for us, let me explain. It's really simple, okay? I'm about to blow your mind, okay? Reusing customers, okay? Even if it's 1 a month, 2 a month, reusing customers, okay? build relationships with them, all right? Give them discounts, okay? So our LTV per customer, we don't even have a lot of customers anyway, so we have the leverage. So that is a leverage we can overuse compared to the bigger brands, right? Very personalized messages, very personalized discounts, all that type of stuff to build a relationship with the client, right? Obviously, if they really like your product, they can make content. These are exactly who we've used. These are all customers for the brand, okay? We've just recycled them into the actual system, okay? Number 2 is yourself being an actual environment where you can make content, okay? Like flat lays, okay? That just needs an iPhone. You just need to know how to do it and know how to execute it properly, okay? Find a content, like a background you can use every single day for content, okay? Number 3 is obviously family and friends, okay? Optional, okay? And overall, just reusing this, all right? It doesn't take much just to build a content engine where every month we can pull out new content for the organic and the ads. Okay, this is super important, right? Now, using this content, we need to distribute to actually build a trust funnel so it can scale our Instagram followers to engagement for more social proof and easier to build trust. And trust, I say, is everything, okay? If a customer can trust you, okay, I can guarantee you we're gonna have ROASs of 10 plus 11, 15 plus we've had, crazy returns of investments, okay? If we can just build a trust right on our Instagram, okay? The reason why we want to do it on Instagram, because that's usually where our ICP is, ideal client profile is, okay? So that is super important we do it the right way. Trust goes in a multiple way, all right? Humanizing the brand, okay? Number 2, leveraging, USPs and UVPs of the actual product. Testimonial showcases, okay? Showcasing reviews, okay? That's reviews. And what we've done for this brand is, again, using our network, right? Celebrities, sports stars, showing that off in the actual brand's page. So we've scaled their Instagram followers to around 4-5K before we started working, and now we're over 21,000 followers, okay? Just because we built a trust acquisition funnel, the more trust we have on the brand, the more easy they're going to follow and buy from us, okay? If they follow, obviously the quality of the lead depends, but ideally we want them to be a customer at the end of the day. Okay, so building a trust funnel with these 5 stuff. Okay, now after that, okay, we want to build a testing system for meta ads acquisition. Okay, system so we can test these variables efficient, and only 2 variables. Okay, we're not going to running ads first trying to get sales. No, that is a wrong mindset. If you have that mindset, then ads is not for you. Okay, this is a step-by-step process on actually getting to the acquisition system, because we're not here to scale your brand to 5K and we're done. No, we're trying to build a system where we can hit 5K a month consistently, right? That's the end goal for every single brand here. Again, let me clarify on that. The system is not used to scale, but to find something that works at low scale, okay, equals not a big ad spend, okay? The reason why we want to test at low scale is because most of the brands we work with don't have a big ad budget, okay? It's $20, $15 a day. That's what we're working with, okay? So we've built this system for you guys. Okay, we've done it for so many brands, right? I think some myth on the internet is you need to be spending only $50 a day on ads. No, we don't, right? We legit spent $10 a day at the start when running this ads. I remember, right? Because I'm the one who ran it, right? And obviously we build it. Obviously we're not going to scale to 40K a month by spending $10 a day. No, obviously we need to scale up vertically with the ad budget. But at the start, that's not what we're trying to do, okay? What we're trying to do is test our creative verticals. Again, if we go back up here, creative vertical testing, what I say, that is when we actually run the ads, and creative back testing system is what we do before the ads, okay? What we do, creative verticals and product, okay? Again, what I talked about before, we don't have a winning product, and that's what we're trying to find fast as possible, because if we have a winning product, we can focus all our creative attention on one product, right? 80% of it, we can use our ad budget, 80% of it on one product, and put our main focus on it, because that's what it sells. And we can scale horizontally, which I'm going to show you how, because we did it with this brand through the product itself, okay? These both actually go hand in hand each other, okay? Finding what creatives to improve and dial through a KPI analysis. I'm going to exactly show you, okay? Oh, this is bad, my apology. Legit, the 3 KPIs we need to look for inside ad account to determine if it's a winning creative style, okay? Verticals, just a bit of context, is basically a creative style, okay? Not a singular creative, it's a creative vertical, it's a creative style. So for example, flat lays models, those are 2 different verticals. Influencer video and a model picture is 2 different verticals, okay? So what we need to do is individualize the ad sets so we can test the creative verticals efficiently, right? Now, 3 KPIs to look for is obviously ROAS, okay? If we have high ROASs, like, 10, 11, okay, that's a clear indicator that we have a ROAS. But people get it wrong, okay? We need to have decent spend on it, right? So ideally, if we have high ROAS and it's spent 2 times of your average order value of that product we're advertising, then it can be classified as a winning creative vertical, okay? Number 2 is crazy high unique outbound click-through rate, okay? Not the normal click-through rate, okay? Just because this doesn't filter into people who've seen your brand multiple times. Okay, that's a big indicator. We don't want people who's already interested in your brand, hasn't bought yet, keep clicking your ads. That counts as normal click-through rate. Okay, so this is the unfiltered version. Okay, super important. Number 3 is actually cost per content view. Okay, if this is relatively cheap compared to your other ad sets, there's not a margin. All right, then you have a chance of this being a really good ad set. Okay, if you see a good spread within this, cost per content view, cost per add to cart, cost per checkouts initiated, right? If it follows a 1 purchase for every 3 checkouts initiated, for every 7 add to carts, right? Then it's a good ad set, okay? If we do this at a higher scale and you don't see the ROAS, right? Then it might not be an ad problem, okay? But again, very 3 simple step. I will look at what to find in our KPI analysis. And obviously for the product, hero product / I should say now winning product is what we try to find here, okay? Which leads to, I guess, find winning product and winning creative, okay? Again, finding winning product and winning creative leads to a lot of good things, right? Obviously it can't lead to 10, 100,000 K per month. Just learn with this where it would hit brands first, 10K a month, okay? Best week, 3.3K in a week, 9.1K in a month, track 13K, highest month in the last year. That is crazy. This is what the brands did entire last year, and we hit it in 1 month by actually building an acquisition channel for this, okay? And we hit 20K per month with just finding a winning creative vertical and a product, right? If you do this efficiently, we can scale your brand to 20K a month, okay? Hit 20K this morning. No idea where I talked that. What am I doing? Okay, congrats. Yeah, cool. Now, 20K, 40K, that's double revenue, okay? Our team decided to scale horizontally with product, which you've actually might have heard of, okay? And vertically with the ad budget, okay? Let me explain. So there's 2 words media buyers use a lot, okay? So horizontally scale is basically when you scale a brand like this, and a vertical scale is when you scale a brand like this. So ideally vertical is when we increase the budget, right? And horizontal is where we, I guess, increase the volume of the ads itself. But instead of actually horizontally scaling the ad sets, where most media buyers do, we actually just horizontally scale the products and the amount of products we use, okay? Now, I'm just gonna go into horizontal scale not to confuse you, okay? Applied market trend, worked out variable, and we apply the 2% base split model, okay? So this was a winning product we've identified, okay? And we made variations of it, all right? So horizontally scaling, applying the 2% base split model, okay? Cargos, sweats, sweats V2, okay? All following this simple principle of, I guess, applying our variations of it, okay? So we've horizontally scaled the product, meaning we can vertical scale with the ad budget without any friction, right? Using a leverage and not increasing our frequency, right? KPI analysis steadily doubled our ad budget while maintaining target ROAS, okay? Every ROAS is going to drop if we just increase the vertical scale, okay? That's quite frankly, okay? Our cost per acquisition is going to go up, our ROAS is going to drop down, okay? So we've sort of stabled it while horizontally scaling our actual product, okay? Lowered our frequency with product, up over ad volume with budget. So we found something that worked, get us to 20K, and the easy thing is we just found a way to scale. So that was horrible, my bad. So this right here is scale, okay? That's what brands use to scale, okay? Cool. I hope you guys learned something from this. Just take one thing valuable and just apply it to your brand, okay? That's the main point of this, right? Just showing you the systems we've applied, and see ways you guys just can apply it yourself, all right? Just take one thing valuable for it, and this will all be worth it, all right?